So I tried responding to you several times, but I was kind of writing paragraphs to answer a couple of really important questions you brought up. So the first thing is that any. What that's referring to is the route profile. So I have 27 options, kind of permutations between these options right here on the right. You can have a route that prioritizes flat um, point to point, or maybe paved roads, or gravelly roads, leisurely roads, or racy roads like not sidewalks and bike paths. And then you can kind of see that. So my routing platform differs from a lot of the other ones because you can right click and you can change these on the fly. So if you want one particular portion of your route to prioritize bike paths, you can make that leisurely. And then it's not going to care about, in this particular case, if it's paved or unpaved, but it will try to keep it flat, it will try to keep it leisurely. So it kind of shows right here when you hover your mouse over any one of these segments what you are seeing over here on the right, which is 27 different options. I mean, you can have a flat route, a paved route, a gravelly route, and you can have weird combinations of these as well. You can kind of go crazy and you can intermix them. And because you can intermix them, I thought I might make a hover over, which makes that kind of evident. So I know it's kind of confusing and maybe I should rename them a bit, but any kind of just means a cycling um, profile from point to point that doesn't really care if it's hilly, doesn't really care if it's flat, doesn't care if it's paved or gravel, or if it's like leisurely or racy, but it will get you from that point to point in probably the fastest time, but still try to keep you on bikeable roads. On to your next question. So you can view a gradient if you just go over here on the map right here. You can actually just highlight a section. You can see we have a negative gradient, so it says kind of like -1% if you just hover over there. And you can see on the route 2 that it will kind of highlight the portion. You can kind of see that up there that the gradient's talking about. And you can hover this back and forth. And you can kind of see that it goes from a positive gradient to a negative gradient and kind of goes from ascent to descent in that window. So over here you get all the gradient information that you want for any particular hill or surface that you care about. Now, on to your third question, weather radar. Let me pull it up here real quick. I'm sorry to disappoint, but it is 2 hours in the past. I mean, it goes from the past to now. It doesn't predict the future. The reason why is money. It's a 100% free site. I don't make anything off of it whatsoever, except for the occasional donation, which comes like maybe every 2 months. And this is free. It is free for me to access the last 2 hours. I can't really get into the future without it costing some amount of money, and I have no way to make money. And that's kind of the situation there. So you can kind of get an idea of where that storm system is going. But if you do want to forecast, I'll have you know, you can choose this weather option here, and you can put in a time frame that you care about. So say you know you're starting at 9 p.m. and you know it's going to take like 3 hours to complete the course. You could put that in, and you can see the forecasted data along the course, and you can get an idea of what the wind is going to look like, what the weather is going to look like, and what you might encounter. And so that's sorry. And so that's kind of the situation when it comes to weather and weather forecasting. You have this option right here, which gives you all of that data that you might be looking for. But yeah, when it comes to the weather radar itself, I give you the last 2 hours, which to put that in perspective, if you go to a site like windy.com and you take a look at their radar, that's kind of the same as what they give. Actually, it's more than what they give because they make you go premium if you want a weather radar that gives you more than 1 hour in the past. You want to go past more than an hour, you have to pay the money. So my site will give you 2 hours, like from now into the past, to kind of give you an idea of where those weather systems are going, without it costing you any money or begging you for some premium service. So I hope that answers your questions, at least in part. And if you have any more, happy to answer them. This would have taken many paragraphs to respond to anyways, and I hope this kind of covers some of those. If you want to have any other talks or a Zoom meeting or whatever to discuss how the website might best fit your needs, or to address any of your feedback or go over any points in particular, feel free to let me know. I love talking about it. It's like my favorite thing.